Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay. Can you just make sure you can see me?
Yeah, it's not super zoomed in, but is that? Well, I guess
That's
no.
fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, and then I also need to start recording my audio. Audio recording. Start. I've been assigned to calculate a spot, not necessarily on Earth, where NASA should place a telescope in order to expand their knowledge of the cosmos and the universe. I wanted to challenge myself, and so I decided to pick a place on Earth. I know I could have just launched one into space, and then it would be a lot easier to look at things. But I couldn't figure out a way to measure that with data in order to see how much I could collect without, communications running out from it being too far away. So I decided to pick a spot on Earth. My first thought when going into this was, okay, I need to find the least mapped section of the sky that we have. There's all sorts of different constellations that have, areas that are sectioned off where they are. I wanted to find a section that had the least mapped stars ever. I found the largest 3D map of the mapped universe ever. I think it was created by NASA. I'm not exactly sure. And I noticed that there were these triangles of absent stars where they were missing. Naturally, my interest was piqued, and I set about trying to figure out where the coordinates on Earth were that area came from. And so, me not having that very many options, not knowing any astronomists, I went to Quora.com and I asked, and I actually got a very good answer, which was basically, the farther away you get from Earth, the least mapped stuff we have. It was a very good answer. I will post that in the description. But that didn't really help me. So I decided my second course of action was to find the most isolated spot on Earth. Naturally, I just Googled this and it came up with countries. According to the New World Atlas of Artificial Night Sky Brightness, the inhabitants of Chad, Central African Republic, and Madagascar are the least affected by light pollution. I also came across the Adiroma Desert, which has never experienced rain in recorded human history, which, of course is very ideal. It explains why lots of telescopes are in the desert. There are multiple telescopes in that desert, so I decided not to do that. But that isn't what I wanted. I didn't care if it was on land or if it was on ocean. I just wanted the least isolated, least light polluted point on the entire Earth. And I came across Point Nemo. The coordinates are, I will write somewhere, but it is the most isolated area anywhere. It's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's named after Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And I was like, that is the spot. My first question was, what can it see? If I am standing theoretically at that spot, what can I see of the night sky? And of course that changes from year to year, but what is the basics? What can I get an idea of? And so I found a sky map website where I plugged in the coordinates, and it gave me the night of tonight. Actually, you will probably be watching this on October 16th, 2020, and so I found that both with diagrams and without, just as the night sky that you would see. But the one main problem is that since it's in the middle of the ocean, how do I put a telescope there? My first thought was oil rigs. Oil rigs do it all the time. They can float on water, or they are attached to the ground, depending on how far away they are from the ground of the ocean. Obviously, Point Nemo is in the middle of the ocean. It is known as like a ship burial place. If you have a ship like there's just lots of ships there that people sink on purpose at Point Nemo, since it is the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So it's very deep down, and I knew that there would be some problems getting it attached to the ground so you can have a fixed point that you can survey the night sky from. Oil rigs actually float. As the weight of the rig pushes downwards, displaced water pushes upwards, and therefore the oil rig can float. So there are two main ways oil rigs stay in spot. One of them is anchors with wire ropes, and those keep that in place. But again, I surmise that it will be a little bit too deep, and it also won't be as precise. In order to get that accuracy, there is another way, which is computer coordinated thrusters, which I assume NASA would have a lot of fun with. And so, in conclusion, if NASA for some reason came to me and asked, hey, where do you think we should put a telescope? Just out of funness, out of deviation from the current norm of where people put telescopes, and because I couldn't measure where I can put it in space, I say Point Nemo because it's just cool. That'd be cool.